have been living a life like a normal Christian. I'm a Roman Catholic. And for me, God was something that, you just approach Him, pray to Him, and He gives you. I did not know why God gives it, and why is He there for us, and what do you ask from Him? For me, asking God was just asking for materialistic things, asking for success, asking for money, just asking for anything that I wanted. But I think today that it's not just materialistic things that you should expect from God. There's much more beyond that. And I think we as Christians, we need to live a holy life. And living a holy life is not just by going to church. It's by understanding the deeper meaning of all that is mentioned in the Holy Bible for us. There's lots we need to know from the Bible. There's lots to it. There are those hidden words, the hidden meanings over there which Jesus is trying to convey to us. And I think I've started understanding all that only when I came for a retreat here. And my first retreat was in 2010. And each retreat of mine helped me to understand the deeper meanings of the words in the Bible and get closer to Jesus Christ. Attending every retreat has been a learning process for me. So each retreat brings me closer to God, helps me to understand Him better, gets me get closer to Jesus Christ, helps me to learn Him more and love Him more. My childhood was not easy for me because I've gone through the difficult times in my life, because I did not come up in a very great family as such, like where we had everything that we wanted. Life was a struggle, but it was only challenge. Although it was a struggle, it was a challenge. I did not give up in my life because my mother taught me to have faith in God. She told me, pray to God, God will help you to grow. What you don't have today, not necessarily the situation will remain the same tomorrow. Just pray to God, have faith in Him. She used to take us for Sunday masses, and in fact, she used to take us for those Saturday novenas where we did not have the money even to travel by bus. And we had to walk for more than an hour. Probably I was at the age of 8 or 10, and walking for an hour was too much for me. But she told me that today you're walking, you will not be walking for the rest of your life. When you grow up, you'll be probably going to church by a car, And so she built up that faith in me that you pray to God, God will help you. But somewhere in my mind it was, pray to God, God will give you materialistic thing, Life will be like that, comfortable life. Ask Him and you will receive. That was a statement that was always repeated. And I kept praying. My grandmother in fact told me, you must develop your faith, build your faith in Mother Mary, and she will hear your prayers. Whenever you have a challenge, say the rosary. But as a child, I was never close to saying rosaries. I found it very boring because it takes a lot of your time. But when we used to go to Goa on holidays, my grandfather used to insist that, every evening the rosary must be said. And yeah, it was a compulsion. It was not coming from the heart. Because he used to say, we had to join him. But I used to always watch him praying. He spent a lot of time praying, and I used to watch him and I used to try to understand, why is he praying so much? But today I understand that because he prayed, it saved the family. As I said, I've gone through the struggles in life and I wanted to have all that what others had. God kept giving me gradually. And I believed in Him. I started developing that faith in Him that, yes, He will improve my life. Someday He will improve, and He was improving it gradually, and I could see it. So that developed my faith strongly that yes, God is hearing my prayers. I just need to wait patiently, believe in Him and pray to Him, as my mother always said, and I kept doing that. There came a time, when I started facing some personal problems in my life, facing challenges in my personal life, and I did not know which direction should I go. Whom should I ask for help? Whom should I believe in? Whom should I trust to so that I could discuss my personal problems? And I didn't have anyone around because it's hard to believe in humans sometimes. But as I knew that, as my grandmother had said, talk to Mother Mary whenever you have a problem. So I had a picture of Our Lady of Fatima. where it said, look deep into her eyes and let her gaze into your eyes. I used to keep praying to her every day. I used to come home from work and look at that picture, look deep into her eyes. And I used to ask Mother Mary, is this what you want? If this is the will of yours and of your son, I'm ready for it. I consider this as a challenge and I'm ready for it. I have faith in you. I have faith in Jesus Christ, and I know my life will not be the same forever. And one day on 15th of August, which is Mother Mary's Day, I just woke up in the morning and something came to my mind that I must go to church today. I hesitate to go on every Sunday Mass, but that day being 15th of August, it just came to my mind that today is Mother Mary's Day and I must go to church. Because 15th of August, while I was in India, my mother used to take me to church to celebrate Mother Mary's Day. So it came to my mind that today my mother is not here with me, but I must go. And I got up from my bed, dressed up and went to church. After the Mass was over, this was at St. Mary's Church in Dubai. After the Mass was over, I went to the grotto and I was praying. I prayed and I moved towards the gate to leave the church premises, the compound. Something told me in my mind, turn back and look at the grotto again. When I turned back and looked at the grotto, I saw Mother Mary's statue turning towards me and giving me a big smile. I couldn't believe it. I said, maybe I'm just imagining. And I went towards my car. I went in my car and my mobile, which was left in the car, it was on. I said, how come my mobile is on? So I picked up my mobile and without putting the mobile on or without pressing any keys, there was a message which was open. Normally when you receive a message, you get that prompt which says, new message received. But it was not like that. The message was open itself and the message was in red color. Messages are normally in black color. But this was a message in red color. It had, Our Lady of Velankani, she has that crown, the round one. That crown was at the beginning, and at the end of the sentence also there was a crown. The message was all in red and said, pray to O Mother Mary. And after I read it, the message disappeared and the mobile went off. I put the mobile on, tried to search that message. I could never find that message again. And that was a miraculous thing for me to happen in my life. I had the Mother Mary smile at me, and then I saw this message on my mobile. I came home and I called my mother in Goa and I told her something like this has happened. I went to Our Lady of Velankani, prayed there, and I returned back again to Dubai. And since then my life changed. My life changed for good. Everything good started happening with me. Everything beautiful. Whatever I dreamt of started happening. Today I'm blessed with a loving husband and 2 beautiful kids. After I got married, immediately I conceived. In fact, just before I got married, I realized that I would be having problem with conceiving. I had problem with my uterus. I approached the doctors for help. Doctor treated me. He said, Francisca, believe in me, go back, you will conceive. But when I came to Dubai, I spoke to my husband and I said, see, there might be complications. I might not get pregnant, So as it is, we have problems in getting married. So you should change your mind about me, Go and get married to somebody else because I might not be able to conceive. And your parents will be again, above all, more upset with you. And that will make them and you sad. So I said, we should drop this idea of getting married. You go ahead and get married to someone. And he said, no, don't worry about all that. If you don't conceive, we can adopt. So he asked me, you have problem with adoption? I said, I don't have problem with adoption. He said, even I don't have problem with adoption. We'll adopt. And I came home and I told this to my uncle. My uncle said, are you crazy? How could you really tell him not to get married just because of this reason? I said, see, I don't want to spoil his life. Anyway, things went fine and we got married. We got married and I still had that doubt that will I conceive? I got married in December, 11th of December, and by January I knew that I was pregnant. as a child, I was a very average student. I didn't do very well in studies because probably lack of interest, and also due to a lot of the challenges that were always surrounding me. But as my mother said, you need to study to rise up in life, you know. So I did my bachelor's in commerce, and with that I got a decent job in Dubai. I was earning very well, but that was not enough for me. I always started feeling that you need to have real high education to rise up in your career. Everyone does bachelor's, and bachelor's degree does not hold that much value anymore now. So I realized that you need to do masters. But how do I do masters? I have been very average in my studies. I didn't score very well when I was studying. So how will I do masters, a person like me? And where do I have the time? From where will the money come? And I already had 2 kids. So how will I do my masters now? All these thoughts started coming up, and every time it was like, I need to do my masters, but how will I do it? It is a big challenge. And studying after so many years, oh my God, I haven't touched books for so many years. How will I study? I've forgotten how to really study and, retain data in your mind. Now you use computers to search data. So I was wondering, how will I do it? And yes, my husband always said that, at the same time that, I will send you one day to Pota. I will take you one day to Pota. It's a retreat center, and wonders happen there. You need to go there to have more strong belief in God, You need to develop your faith more strong. This is not enough the way you are. I said, retreat? I said, I can't do it, For me, 1 hour mass is only too much. I can't sit for more than 1 hour, and you're talking about sitting for 5 days and listening? I said, it's not possible. He said, it will happen one day. God will call you. I said, okay, when God calls me, I will go. Till then, let me relax. Let me be the way I am. And at the same time, when this thought started coming that I need to do my masters, one day, all of a sudden, after 13 years, I decided to visit my office in Abu Dhabi. I never visited for 13 years. That day it came to my mind, I must visit that office. And I drove down to Abu Dhabi. And there I met one lady. She was from Kerala. And my first question to her was, you know where is Pota in Kerala? Out of nothing. And she said, yeah, Pota is so-and-so thing. It's a divine retreat center, and I heard that miracles happen. I said, have you been there? Oh, no, I have not been there. But I heard it's a good place. Miracles happen there, and you learn to pray. And on my way back, I was only thinking of Pota. That was the time that Pota came to my mind that day. And I came to the office. First thing I did, I went on the internet and I started searching for Divine Retreat Center. I came home, again on the internet, searching for Divine Retreat Center. Reading all about it, trying to find out what they do, who they are, why they are there, and what it is all about. It continued for a few days. And then finally I told my husband, I said, when I'm in the office, the only thing that I want to do is go on the net and search for Divine Retreat Center. When I'm at home, I want to do that thing. This is all what I'm doing these days. He said, I think God is calling you. I said, really? He said, yeah, I think this is a sign that God is calling you. And probably He wants you to attend a retreat. I said, even now, I think, that I must go there. He said, go. I said, how to leave the kids and go? And that time they were very small. So he said, don't worry about that. God will take care. And I'm a person very possessive about my kids, wouldn't leave them alone anywhere, although I leave them with the hands of the maid and I go to work. So the maid said, don't worry, I will take care of your kids. And just pray to God, everything will be fine. And I prayed to God. I said, see, you called me. So I'm coming. I'm not coming there with my own wish. You called me, I'm coming there. Now you take care of the situation here in Dubai for me. You take care of my family, take care of my kids, my husband. I leave them all in your hands. But at the same time, you have to travel with me. I've never traveled alone anywhere like this, going to Kerala for the first time in my life. The flight is going to land at 3 o'clock in the morning. How will I go to the retreat center in the dark? So I said, you need to be with me. So I reached at the airport, just waiting for the sun to rise. And then I reached the center. And when I reached the center, my room partner, she said, now it's time for tea. You need to have tea and then the retreat starts. So I went with her. When I went into the dining hall, I saw people coming from different parts of India. Somebody is sick, somebody is sad, and all those different faces. And I was a bit nervous seeing all these faces together under one roof at the same time. And I said, why all these people are over here? They are sick. They should be in the hospital for treatment. Why are they over here? She said, no, they are all here to pray for their sickness. I said, really? But that guy is coughing there, and we are having our food here. So I took that cup of tea and I could not drink it. All the people are standing and having their meal. I said, am I going to stand and have my meal? And then, taking that plate, and the guy puts the food in a plate. I said, I don't like this, It's like as if I'm in a prison, taking the plate and going and they serve the food. I said, this is very odd. I'm not used to this. I did not have my tea. I went and started the retreat. The first thing I prayed to Jesus when I saw Jesus' picture, I said, Jesus, you called me here. And this is very difficult for me to stand there and, have my meals and the way they are serving. I said, I'm not comfortable with this. So if I'm not going to have my food, how will I concentrate on this retreat? So I have been hearing so many miracles happening here. You first need to do one miracle on me, and that is, help me to eat. Help me to eat the food that is served here. Help me to accept the situation here, the way the living condition is here. Help me to accept this. Perform this first miracle on me, and then we move ahead with your retreat. I prayed that. The retreat started. At lunchtime, they said, you need to go for lunch. I said, oh my God, how will I eat there? I went there. I said, Jesus, be with me. I'm going there now for my meal. I went there with the plate. He served the food. I started eating it. Believe me, from there onwards, I enjoyed every meal. In fact, I used to go back to the guy and say, thoda sa aur de do na. The food was so good. I started liking it. And I started asking them for, give me more, give me more. And I was just eating and enjoying every meal that was served there. So that was the first miracle that happened with me at the Divine Retreat Center when I attended my first retreat. So as the retreat went on, and I started developing my faith with this first miracle that happened with me in the first half a day, the first day of my retreat, and I was very pleased. I said, thank God that now I'm able to eat, so now I can concentrate on my prayers. And as I said, my intentions was to do my master's. So I prayed to God. I said, God, I haven't studied for so many years. I've forgotten how to study, how to retain data, how to apply data. I said, I've forgotten all this, but I still want to do my master's. And I want to prove myself that I am capable of doing something in my life, I am not happy with what I'm doing, with the way I'm doing it. I want more additional knowledge so that I can perform well, and that will help me to grow. And I prayed to God. I said, I know this is impossible for me to study now, and then I have 2 kids, I have additional responsibilities. There's no time for me to study, but you can make it possible. You made one miracle on me just now, so I know you can do it. So please help me. Help me, send me all those beautiful angels who can help me to, to study. So I prayed during the retreat, prayed as much as I can. I said, from my side, I will pray with full faith. Now from your side, you know what you have to do. So we both contribute equally for it. And I prayed, and then I met Father Valuran. He blessed me. He prayed for me. And then my name was called out on the stage with a blessing. And Father Valuran said, there's a message for Francisca. He said, Jesus says, rise up and shine. You are out of the darkness of your life. Oh my God, I said, rise up and shine. It means I need to shine like a star, so I can study. I will study. And that message gave me the strength. It developed my faith more strong. I said, God is with me, I just need to put in my efforts. From my side, I need to put in efforts. God has given me the signal. Go ahead. You need to rise up and shine. So I came back to Dubai, started with my master's, and I did not face any problem while I was studying, and attend classes. 10 o'clock I used to come home. That was twice a week, the classes. And I used to put my children to sleep, go to sleep with them, fall asleep with them. 2 o'clock I used to keep the alarm, get up at 2 o'clock, study for 2 hours, again go to sleep, get up at 6 o'clock and then leave for work. So I did this. The master's program was for 2 years, but with God's grace, with His blessings, I did it in 1 year and 3 months. The whole program, I finished it on a fast track. I was so happy that I did it. What I asked, I got from God. It helped me in my career. It helped me to reach to another level in my career. Now I work as a human resource manager because I did my master's in strategic human resource management. And during this process, I was just wondering, how will I give enough time for my family? My children, although small, they were very supportive. They used to say, Mama is studying, let's close the door. And they used to close the door, and my husband was very cooperative during that time. He said, you study, I stay with the kids. And they used to close the door, and he would spend all his time with the kids. Well, I would be studying in the bedroom or sitting at the university and studying. So my husband, my kids were also those beautiful angels, who helped me during the process of my studying. And then I attended my second retreat. That was in January last year. And again, I came with full faith. I prayed to God, prayed and prayed and prayed throughout my retreat. And again, this time there was a purpose for coming for retreat. That was in January last year. I was made redundant, and I was waiting for my next assignment, my next job, but it was not happening. I wasn't even getting a call for an interview, and I was just wondering why. I have all this experience of so many years. I have my master's degree, and still nothing is happening good. So I told my husband, I'm going for a retreat. He said, good, go for the retreat. And again, I came for the retreat, leaving my family there. Prayed and prayed to God. I prayed to Jesus. I said, please help me. You need to help me to find a job. And then I met Father Valuran. He prayed for me, and he gave me a vision. He first asked me, Francisca, you live in Dubai? I said, yes. How about if you get a job, in any other emirate? I said, I'm ready to travel even up to Abu Dhabi because I need a job. He said, no, Abu Dhabi is very far for you. So I said, then Father, how about Sharjah? I said, Sharjah, I don't mind. I said, Sharjah is not very far for me. So I can travel to Sharjah. So he closed his eyes and he prayed for me. And he said, Francisca, I have a vision for you. There is a job ready and is kept waiting for you. God has a plan for you. Go back, don't worry, everything will be fine. And then on the last day, that's on Thursday evening when the inner healing happens, Father Valuran called out my name again on the stage. That was the second retreat, and it happened second time again. My name was called out, and he said, Francisca, why are you so anxious? Jesus says, why are you so anxious? Look into the eyes of Abba Father. Don't you understand the compassion that He has for you? These were the words Jesus spoke through Father Valuran for me. And I was so happy. And I returned back to Dubai with full confidence. And I know that, as usual, Jesus will do something for me. And I came back, no worries, no tension. I even was not doing much about searching the job, just applying as and when I received the emails. I was cool about it. My husband said, don't worry, you prayed, isn't it? So everything will be fine with you. And that was the end of January that I attended the retreat. Exactly after 1 month, end of February, I get a call for an interview for a company in Sharjah. My position was confirmed as Human Resource and Administration Manager for this company. And on 5th of March was my first day in that company. My son, when he was 7 years and my daughter 5.5, my husband was not very happy that they don't pray. They don't join us in prayers. So I told my husband, they're still small. He said, they're not small to pray. there is no age for prayers. You need to teach children to pray right from when they are babies, you need to encourage them, and you are not encouraging them. As a mother, it's your responsibility to teach your kids to pray. I said, see, I don't want to push them to pray, then they will dislike prayers. They will do it on their own as they grow. He said, as they grow, now the generation is different. Children learn many other things first before prayers. So it can be too late. But I did not want to push my kids, and my husband was very upset with me because I was not doing what he wanted me to do. So during my first retreat, I heard the priest saying that do not push your children to pray. Do not push them to pray. Don't tell them that you need to pray, you must pray. If they don't pray, you go on your knees and pray for them, and they will automatically start praying. And those lines touched me. And I started believing that, yes, this can be possible. If they don't pray, I will pray for them. After I came from my retreat, I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because yes, during the retreat it was also said your 5 o'clock prayer is very important, and Jesus hears that, because when everyone is sleeping, you are praying. So you are the only one who is awake for him. So he gives a special time for you. So I said, 5 o'clock I'll get up and I'll knock the doors of heaven and I will ask for blessings. So 5 o'clock I used to get up, and kneeling and praying was a very difficult process for me, but I still did it. I used to go on my knees and say the full rosary and ask for blessings for my children, that they start praying, they start getting attached towards God, believing in God. I prayed and prayed and prayed for a couple of weeks. I did it. And then one fine day, my son, who was 7 years old, around late evening, he comes to my husband and he says, Papa, can you teach me to say Our Father? I said, what? Yeah, I want to learn to say Our Father. I said, why, what happened? No, I want to learn. You all know to say Our Father. I don't know. I said, oh, love. That's my husband's name. I said, oh, love. He wants to learn Our Father. Please, come on, write it down for him. Looking at him, my daughter also came. She said, I also want to learn Our Father. And she also started learning. And now, my husband has no complaints. They join us in prayers. I also stress upon the 5 o'clock prayer. 5 o'clock, you go on your knees and you pray. You ask for what you want, and you will get it. And I know God can do wonders in our life. We just need to wait patiently, believe in Him, and spread the news of God.